Good morning, beloved. My name is Pamela James, and this is Salty Speech. We're continuing with the Psalms, and today we're on Psalm 105. And in Psalm 105, the psalmist talks about lifting our voices to God, acknowledging who God is and God's wonders, and not being ashamed of that. Amen. Let us read Psalm 105 together. It says this, it says, "Come, offer thanks to the Eternal. Invoke his holy name. Tell other people about the things he has done. Sing songs of praise to him. Tell stories of all his miracles. Revel in his holy name. May the hearts of the people who seek the Eternal celebrate and experience great joy. Seek the Eternal in his power. Look to his face constantly. Remember the wonderful things he has done, his miracles and wise decisions he has made. O children of Abraham, his servant, O children of Jacob, his chosen people. He is the Eternal, our true God. His justice extends to every corner of the earth. He keeps his covenant promises forever and remembers the word he spoke to 1,000 generations. The covenant he made with Abraham and has sworn oath to Isaac, his son. Then God confirmed it to Jacob, decree it also. To Israel, he promised a never-ending covenant, saying, I will give you the land of Canaan as your part. It will be your inheritance. When God's people were only a few in number, indeed very few, they were strangers in a foreign land. They roamed from place to place, from kingdom to another, and God didn't let anyone terrorize them. He rebuked kings in order to protect his people. Do not lay a hand on my anointed people. Do not harm any of my prophets. He ordered famine to grip the land and cut them off from the supply of bread. But long before, he had sent a man ahead of him, Joseph, who had been sold into slavery. At first, his master shackled his feet with chains, placed his neck in a collar of iron. That was until the eternal promises came to pass. His word tested Joseph and proved him worthy. The king sent out the order to release him from prison. The ruler of Egypt liberated him from his chains. Then he put Joseph in charge of the royal household, made him ruler of all royal possessions, allowed him to imprison the royal officials whenever he saw fit, and impart wisdom to the elders in the land. Then when the time was right, Israel also went to Egypt. Jacob resided as an alien in the land of Ham. And while they were there, the Eternal made his people prosperous. He made them stronger than their enemies. He turned the Egyptians' heart against his people to cheat and scheme against his servants. Then he sent his servants Moses and Aaron, the man he had chosen. They did all the signs he planned for them to do among the Egyptians, and they performed miracles in the land of Ham. He sent darkness to cover the land. They did not stray from his word. At his command, their waters turned to blood. Their fish began to die. Throngs of frogs covered the land, invading even the chambers of the king. At his command, a swarm of flies arrived, and gnats came all over their land. He caused hail to fall instead of rain. Lightning flashed all over the land. He struck their vines and their fig trees. He destroyed the trees over all their land. At his command, locusts came. Young locusts marched beyond number, and they ate up all the plants that grew and all the fruits over the land. He also brought death to the firstborn in all their land, the first offspring of each man. Then he brought his people out of slavery, weighed down with silver and gold, and of all his tribes, not one of them stumbled, not one of them were left behind. Egypt was glad to see them go, for Pharaoh's people had been overcome with fear of them. He spread out a cloud to cover his people and sent a fire to light their way at night. They asked, and he sent them convoys of quail, satisfying their hunger with food of heaven. He split the rock, and water poured out. It flowed like a river through the desert, for he remembered his holy covenant with Abraham, his servant. That's why he rescued his people joyously, and why his chosen ones celebrated with shouts and singing. When the time was right, he gave them land from other nations so that they might possess the work of their hands, so that they would be able to keep his commands and obey his law. It's praise the eternal. So today, beloved, give thanks to God in every day and praise his mighty name. Thank you. Have a blessed day.